G'day guys, Patzak here from Expedition Systems. I'm standing in front of our new remote boat loader. Now, we've built this one on the Isuzu MPS, and as you can see, this is a true expedition truck. Didn't start that way though. The Isuzu MPS is originally a very commercial vehicle. They are built for mine sites, work sites, things like that. However, they're incredibly capable provided you do a little bit of upgrade work to it, as this one has received. You may have seen that they've really gained in popularity lately. Now, this is because they've got such a large GVM and towing capacity. In fact, they've got a 7.5 tonne GVM and a 4.5 tonne towing capacity. You couple that in with the dual cab spec, you've got 7 seats, 3.5 metres a tray, it just becomes non-comparable. Now, you may look at that and think it's a really big vehicle, and while they are taller than your standard ute, they're not a great deal longer or wider. This one's 6.4 metres long and 2250 wide at our tray. So it's not like it's over the top. When you start going up into your FSS and FTS models, they definitely get a lot larger. They have gained in popularity because of that GVM increase. Most people are now finding that when you start loading up, say a 79 series or a cruiser, Troll, and any of our traditional touring vehicles, you just blow the GVM out of the water. Police are now getting a lot more strict on the GVMs, as they should be, and they are targeting it. When these trucks roll into us as a standard vehicle, they are truly a commercial vehicle. They come out with dual wheels on the rear, zero cab insulation, very stock standard suspension. There's nothing flash about them. However, they are a very capable platform. There are a few things you can do, however, to turn these from a commercial work vehicle into a fully fledged expedition ute. Now, this one, we've done a 9.5 inch ATW super single conversion. We're running the Westralia springs. They're a parabolic front spring and a multi-leaf rear, coupled up with the King's remote reservoir shocks. Inside the cab, we've fully stripped it back to bare metal, which isn't hard because they don't have much in there to begin with. We've put a 2-stage sound deadening kit through it, stripped the current audio system and replaced that with an audio kit from Superior Sounds over east. The seats have been retained in this version, however, because while you can upgrade your seats, it's not 100% necessary provided you do the base work underneath. Underneath as well, we've got the full ATW bash kit, so that's got all of its radiator guards, condenser guards, sump guards, all of that. We've also upgraded the rear shock mounts. These are a known failure point. So we've cut off the original shock mounts and welded on the refab engineering mounts on the rear, and that just gives you a lot of security when you are on those heavier corrugated roads. We've chucked on the ATW forward winch bar, hooked that up with a carbon 20,000 pound winch, and on this one we're running the GME UHF, good Australian made product, and the great white spotlights for shooting down the highway. On the rear, to help with the towing, we've thrown on one of our own Expedition Systems 4.5 tonne winch compatible tow bars. Now they are an absolute weapon. Again, coupled with the 20,000 pound winch, they've got a set of recovery points on them, 32mm thick, which gives them a rating of 10 tonne direct pull and 5 tonne at 90 degrees, which means when you're doing a double line pull, you know that thing is going to get you out of there. It also means that if there's ever anything that goes wrong, it's not going to be at that end of your vehicle. Now, we're in WA, doesn't matter though, Australia-wide, our distances are massive, so whether we're driving from here up to Coral Bay or Broome, across to Darwin, up the Cape, the more fuel capacity you can get, the better. So these start with a 140 litre tank, which is kind of pathetic really. We've upgraded this one to a 320 litre tank. It runs through its own fuel water separator before it hits the OEM fuel filter, so you know you're always going to get clean fuel into your engine. A couple of other things you want to carry out before doing any kind of off-road work. We've also upgraded the breathers. Now that's your diff breathers. They start off right on the diff, so we've raised all those, your gearbox transfer case. All of the breathers have been raised. Again, these start as a commercial vehicle. If you want to turn it into an expedition vehicle, come and see us and we'll give you a hand. There are a couple of known problems with these vehicles which just never got rectified, so we rectify those as a standard. Starting at the front, and while we're doing our electrical setup, is the perfect time to solve this. The aircon cabin filter looks like your nan's knickers. If you have a look at it, it looks exactly like the filters in your split system aircon. Good for keeping out leaves, and that's about it. If you don't replace those, you'll end up dusting your aircon and be up for thousands in a replacement system. This panel comes off. They're an easy to source part. They come straight out of Repco or Super Cheap. They're just a Ryco cabin filter. Pull the original out, bolt in the new one. Robert, your mother's brother. Underneath as well, inside the engine bay, while we're inside there, we remove the boost hose and upgrade that with the CRG tuning boost hose. Now, they will blow out the original ones under load. It's a very commonly known problem. It's just not worth stuffing around with for the cost. It's the difference between being on road or not. The MPS has a flexible chassis. Now, if you're just running it day to day as a work truck, you can rigid mount a tray, not a problem whatsoever. They're going to flex about 200 mil from front to back. Most of that flex is captured around the gearbox cross member. If you're going to put canopies on and things like that though, full length bodies, well, you need to do something to combat that flex, because what will happen otherwise, your chassis will flex with a rigid mounted tray, it transfers the flex into the tray, and then it transfers the flex up and into the body, and it will always pick the weakest point, which is generally in the top corners of your canopy, and that's where it'll start cracking. You'll get 2 to 3 years before you start seeing any issues, but guaranteed you will have a problem with it down the track. To combat that, the remote boat loader has been set up on one of our extreme duty spring mounted trays. Now the tray is a full aluminium tray made out of marine grade aluminium. The outer frame is actually 100 by 50 by 6 RHS with 550 by 5 SHS cross members and a set of 8mm gussets and girders running front to back. Underneath it sits on 152 by 8mm PFC subframe with a 75mm or 76mm by 9mm SHS main beam, and that really gives it its strength. The springs pull out pretty well all of the flex, however not all, and some flex is still transferred through to the tray. And this is why you'll see there are multiple units on here. If you're looking to do a full length canopy or camper, that's where we would start introducing our 4-point pivoting subframe, but that's for another time. This is an expedition truck, which is why we've got our full expedition tray, and we've built this up to our bug out spec. Now what does that mean? Well, inside the headboard here, these panels first and foremost are removable to gain access inside. There's 240 litre 316 stainless water tank, a 2-pump water system which provides you a filtered and non-filtered water through one pump, and the second pump gives you creek draw. That means that you can pull water out of any source, whether it's just another tank or whether it's a trough, a dam or a creek, run that back up, filter it in, or you can even just use it for wash down. Moving through, we do have our filtered water outlet here. Inside here are our creek draw system, and that's also where your hoses will be kept for your creek draw system. This one's a kitchen, our main canopy in here. Moving through, we've got the Bush Company 180-degree awning, we've got the Camp Boss ensuite tent on the back, a full pass-through storage up there. That rear box, that's our tent loader. That actually houses the bungee top king size tent. It's the biggest tent you can get on the market before going to custom sizing. It's a full winch operated system. We'll show you that one later. And in the rear box, we've got our hot water unit, all of our hoses, and the air compressor, which is the Sirius Air 24-volt air compressor. Just for context, we can pump all 4 of these tyres up from 20 pound to 90 and 70 in about 7 minutes, which is a game changer when it's hot and flies are everywhere. The kitchen box has a step. You can have these with or without the kitchen. The guards are steel, meaning that if you have a blowout, they will survive, as opposed to an aluminium guard, which will break. In the back of the tray, you can drop the back section down. That's where all our ramp storage. You can store your max tracks in there if you want, shovels, things like that. It's just a wet storage area. It's not designed to be dust proof. You can throw dirty gear in there and you don't have to worry about it. If you're running boats or bikes, you're always going to need more fuel. Now, what we've done, rather than jerry cans, is we've actually built a 140 litre unleaded tank into the tray. Now, it's all easily removable. It is in underneath there. It's out of sight, out of mind, and fills up through the headboard here. That just gives you a lot more peace of mind knowing that your fuel's not up for sticky fingers to grab. We build our canopies for extremes. So I've spent a lot of my life up in the tropics, grew up in the desert. These are built for heat, dust, monsoonal rain, all of it. Starting up the top here, we've got the single piece tiller hinge. Now these are an aluminium body with a nice heavy duty rubber hinge mechanism itself. That allows, while it's pouring down rain, say a monsoon, no water's getting into that door whatsoever when it's open. We also run a positive pressure vent. Now this vent system is on the door purely because it's below, the canopy itself is below roof height. These work as a rammed air system. They push air in, push water out the back. There's a cabin filter inside which is easily replaceable from inside without removing this filter mechanism here. So once the vent has been fitted and waterproofed, that's it, you don't have to touch it again. It'll always stay waterproof that way. We have single point entry with 3-point locking, meaning that if you're going into a canopy, you're probably going to have something in your hands or about to have something in your hands when you're coming out. Our seals are on the doors. This means that as you're loading and unloading, you don't have to worry about tearing the door seals out. This side here, this is actually a rain gutter. Rain falls on the door, runs down, hits that hinge, hits the gutter and runs out. They are a fully framed canopy. You can see they are a full width door. We've really maximised the loading space. Flush floor, that's a 4mm flush floor. Anything you want to fit at a later date, if you want to modify this thing, it's really easy. You can just drill and bolt straight in, rivet, nut cert, whatever you want, straight into that deck. We've set it up so that you can wash it out, blow it out. You don't have anywhere for it to get caught up. It's very easy to keep clean. The whole unit is held down with 4 M16 bolts, so one in every corner. You don't have to get in underneath, you just simply rattle gun them out. That's down into a M16 steel socket which we build up, and that is bolted into the tray itself from underneath into the 8mm main runner. Now that means that when you bolt it there, it's staying there. No more over center latches, no small bolts. It's very easy to remove this system. The positive pressure vent on this one is in the door. There's a cover up here. We unbolt that, pull the filter out. Now the filter's there so when you stop in really dusty conditions and you get that big billowing dust cloud roll over you, that catches that. The vent's there for a few reasons. First of all, if you happen to tear one of these door seals, the whole canopy is still going to be dust proof because it keeps a positive head of air in there. While you're out fishing or in town and the canopy's locked up, it also allows that hot air, as it gets in here and it starts expanding, it will expand and get out, meaning that your fridges can run a lot easier, saving battery capacity. The door locks are covered with these door cards, so that gives us a mounting system for our lights, and it also prevents anything from rolling into the door lock rods. They are a 3-point locking system. They run compression lock, and either end the 9mm lock rod locks into the body. All of our power systems run through the Red Arc Manager, giving us our lighting control up here. You can leave them on and off. It's up to you how you want to run your lights. We like to run the white and red lights purely because it means less bugs. We've set our pantry in behind the main pivot point on the fridge door so that you can open your fridge up past 90 degrees, which allows you then to pull out your crisper, because you'll find a lot of them, you can only get that out to about here as the door itself traps the crisper in place. These are unreal because they give you an 11 litre freezer. Now, this is the Bushman's DX130 upright fridge. We've literally designed all of our canopies around this as our minimum height. We figure if you're going to design a canopy, you've got to figure out what goes in there first. Fridge is one of the most important parts, so we've built around this. The 11 litre freezer, while it may look small, is actually really well sized. It'll take, from personal experience, it'll take 2 4 and 24 packs of pies and a bag of Zupa Dupas. So that's great for heading up the road, especially if you've got the kids. Our pantry, straight out. This is our truck pantry, a little bit narrower, and that's to allow space for our appliance pantry. The appliance pantry can house things like your convection oven, coffee machine, all of that sort of unit. This truck, all of our trucks, all of our builds actually, we build in a modular fashion, and that's not just in the body but also in our electrical fit outs. This is currently running a 400 amp system with the two 200 amp Amtron batteries. It will be getting upgraded at some point in the future to a 600 amp system. Now that's very easy because of the way we've hooked it all up. It's running the Red Arc 3000 watt inverter with the TVMS Rogue, the Red Arc 75 Alpha, allowing us to have full 240 charging very easily. We've got single set of or double GPO here. We've got power outlets, all of our lighting controls, pumps, everything like that. It's all run from the Red Arc system. It will be running 400 watts of solar up top. It just means that as you need to, if your needs evolve, we can evolve your vehicle to suit. The tray height on these trucks ends up at 1250 mil high. Our Canopy then adds another 80 mil base structure, meaning if you're running a kitchen out of here, it's always going to be quite high. Even with our Canopy kitchen, which drops about 100 and something mil, the kitchen's still going to end up quite tall. Now for shorter people, that's not that great. That's why we've developed our under tray kitchen. This box can either be a kitchen or just empty storage. In future, we will also start running air compressors and hot water units in here. Inside here, pull our kitchen out. Pull our stovetop out. Now this is the Safari dual hob stove. You can then pull your power lead up, plug into the GPO, pull your sink out, which is right next to our water outlet. We run a pop bottom sink rather than a built-in because it gives you the ability to take that, turf it, so you're not running water and mud at the bottom of your can. There's also a pantry in here just to keep a bit of extra gear. Now don't forget you've also got this pantry here for your food. And your fridge is right there. The positive pressure vents on the Canopy actually feed through a rear vent in the back end of that Canopy, pump into the full length pass-through and down into the tent box, meaning that while you're driving, the whole system remains dust-proof. This is one of our 4mm under tray aluminium boxes. We've gone for 4mm because it is a hell of a lot stronger than 3, which is your standard on the market. The doors have this pressing through the sides. While it does make it look good having that second taper, it also acts as a strong back and really stiffens up that door panel. Inside, these things are massive. We've got the 24 volt Sirius air compressor and its outlet manifold. We've also got the Duetto 1224 240 volt hot water unit. This one is running through 240. So we turn the inverter on up in the Canopy. It's always on here. And that just gives you 240 charge. It means that your hot water unit works a hell of a lot faster to get from cold to hot water. Have the shower outlet here. All your hoses and everything are inside. So in this box we're storing our Morphlate air system. So that's the air hub and the 4 hose kit. We've also got the standard air line to run with the air compressor. That just gives us enough length on the Morphlate. We have our shower system and pre-drawn hoses. Now this is so you can pull water out of anywhere. Further in, we also have our Thirsty Nomad water filter. Now this is the bore water filter. This one is good for 3,000 litres, and then you unscrew that cap and change the cartridge. It's not hardwired into the system, plumbed into the system, purely because, as you can see, it's got a standard garden hose fitting. You rip this out when you want to fill your tanks, and you should fill it all the time. Being a stainless water tank, you can't put chlorine in it, so you want to know that the water that goes into it is always clean. We always suggest running your water through this, even if you're on mains water at home. You'll be amazed at the crap that comes out of your water lines. Pull that out, plug your hose in, pump your tank up. All nice and easy to access. Just what you want. You don't want to have to be digging around for things. You can still swing a cat in there. This is our wet storage section. Inside here we've got our boat loader ramps. They've actually got a strap point in there so you can strap them right up and in. Still leaves you a little bit of space there as well. Our tail light panels are fully removable, meaning that if you do damage one, you can unbolt it and bolt in a new one. It means that the whole thing is a lot more serviceable over time. As with all things, we do have limitations to work within. This is a 3.5 metre tray. We've got a Renegade 440 up top, which is a length overall of 4.6 metres. The main limitation we found here though was how long a ramp we could actually store inside the rear section. The cross member and the subframe has meant that we could only get a certain length ramp in there. Now we've used the Whips folding loading ramps, which are a great lightweight, heavy duty ramp, but to get enough angle on the back of the ramp system to get the boat up and down, we've had to add these ramp extensions. Now, if you're going to add anything, I figure you should make at least a dual purpose. We've made these triple purpose. First one, as you can see here, during transport operation, this is a wheel chock. Gives you a physical stop for that trailer wheel. It can't roll backwards or forwards anymore. It's pinned up against the headboard and against this. When you're unloading or loading the boat, this spins around, pins into the back hinge point, also pins into here to create a nice stable platform, and extends our ramps long enough so that we can actually get that boat up and down. And thirdly, if you're at camp and you need some way of levelling out your setup, pull that out, whack it under your tyres, you've now got 2 levelling ramps inbuilt in your boat loader system. The boat loader has been designed to be operated on hard ground. However, you can launch and retrieve the boat on soft sand. Now, we run this with the 6,000 pound carbon 24 volt winch, which is an absolute ball terror. It will scull drag that boat, no matter how soft the sand is, straight up the back. It's all remote operated, which means that you can get out and move around it. It is a single person operation for the boat loader. Very easy to operate. You don't have to get up on top for anything other than the forward strap, which can be done without climbing on the roof. It has 2 straps at the rear here. I would always suggest you strap your boat to your trailer as well. But we have 2 straps at the rear. We have the wheel chock, 1 strap at the front, plus the winch. The boat's not going anywhere. Now, storage is everything when you're setting off on a big remote trip. Our 4mm under tray boxes, what you saw on the other side, can be fitted out. You can also leave them fully empty, providing you all the space you need for spares, recovery gear, everything like that. The doors hang right down out of the way, so you're never getting impeded by them. Inside here, this is one of our favourite parts of this whole build. The customer didn't want to have to climb up on his roof to access his rooftop tent, so we've loaded it up inside the box here. Now, that's taken a little bit of work. Inside here, they are locked. Just keep sticky fingers out again. But it has taken a little bit of extra work and engineering to create a slide unit strong enough to support the tent. It does have an overlocking set of legs. You can pull that out. And inside here, as you can see, is the bungee top king size tent. That slides out, winch operated system as well, taking the total amount of winches on this vehicle to 7 winches. So we've got the fore and aft winch, they're the 20,000 pound carbon winches. We've got the boat loader winch, which is the 6,000 pound carbon winch. Underneath, there's spare tyre is also on a winch. That's another 6,000 pound carbon winch, purely because it's a 24 volt winch. Definitely overkill, but with a safety chain under there, you know it's never going anywhere. And the bungee top itself has another winch. Maybe a little bit different to what you're used to, but this is a true winch truck. This is a 1400 long Canopy by 950 high, by 2250 wide. Amazing amount of space inside of them. While you can fit out one side, it's always worth considering some open space on the other. This will end up with a drop slide, power slide in here for a fridge and some extra drawers and shelving. But as you can see, leaving a nice open space really does open up a lot of room. Here we have our 320 litre diesel replacement tank. That's got a 2mm stone guard underneath, stainless stone guard. It is fully baffled, and there's a third baffle in here carrying the steps, which gives you access up onto your headboard and roof. Diesel fill is a nice easy position for your diesel fill point, and as with all of our water tanks, we have a gravity outlet here. Now this allows for, you've hooked up the boat, you've pumped your tyres up, you're ready to jump back in, come past, wash your hands, and off you go. All of our gear is made right here in-house. We are very proud to be an Australian manufacturer putting out the best quality gear on the market. Now we back that with a lifetime structural warranty. And it's not just for the initial purchaser, it's for the second, third, fourth purchaser down the line, knowing that you're going to have resale value on your product. We have your back. We have a full in-house team from mechanical and auto, electrical through to the full fabrication side, meaning that if something goes wrong, you've got a single point of contact, you call us, we sort it out. Nothing worse than being left in the lurch in the middle of nowhere and your manufacturer not wanting to back it. Now, we can offer full turnkey packages. We can help with everything from vehicle procurement all the way through to getting it on road. Absolutely anything you need, guys, we are here to help. Cheers.